Accord Engineer is designed to control the battlefield through the use of both offensive and defensive deployable weaponry. Activate challenges in order to test your Battleframe's abilities. The primary weapon of the Accord Engineer is the Sticky Grenade Launcher. This weapon fires explosive rounds which stick to surfaces and are remotely detonated. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. You may exit the battle lab at any time. The deployable supply station provides health and ammo pickups for allies. You will now take a nominal amount of damage. Place the deployable and heal yourself. You may exit the battle lab at any time. Engineers are able to deploy a forward shield which will block both projectiles and enemy movement. Activate the ability. The turret will be unable to affect you. You may exit the battle lab at any time. The Engineer Battleframe deploys an upgradable heavy turret, which targets enemies in the immediate vicinity. Activate the ability and defeat the drones.
Turret deployed!
Exit the battle lab at any time. Anti-personnel turrets are arc-ported to the combat zone by the Accord. Any ally of the Engineer may man the turret. Turrets last 30 seconds or until destroyed. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. To activate this ability, your Hyperkinesis meter, or HKM, must be at 100%. You may exit the battle lab at any time. The Biotech Battleframe is the Accord's support Battleframe and is capable of both healing allies while inflicting damage on enemies. Activate challenges in order to test your Battleframe's abilities. Activate challenges in order to test your Battleframe's abilities. The primary weapon of the Biotech Battleframe is the Bio-Needler, which fires biotoxin-equipped mini-spikes at a high rate of speed. This weapon can alternately fire toxic mini-spikes in large clusters, not unlike a shotgun. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. Exit the battle lab at any time. Healing Wave allows a biotech to send out a forward-directed wave of energy, which heals allies and knocks back enemies while damaging them. Heal all friendly units. Take note of the damage done to enemies. You may exit the battle lab at any time. Biotech frames have the ability to emit a toxic cloud, which deals heavy damage to and snares enemies passing through the cloud. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. the Battle Lab at any time. Utilizing Triage, a biotech can rapidly revive downed allies. Biotechs take less damage from enemies while in Triage. Use Triage to revive allies more quickly. You may exit the Battle Lab at any time. Biotechs have the ability to deploy for limited amounts of time an Accord chemical sprayer which emits a stream of chemicals that simultaneously heal allies and damage enemies. While deployed, this weapon has unlimited ammunition. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. To activate this ability, your hyperkinesis meter, or HKM, must be at 100%. Exit the Battle Lab at any time. The Accord Assault Battleframe is the standard issue combat frame for Accord forces. It is highly maneuverable while providing pilots with the ability to inflict damage to enemies over an extended area. Activate challenges in order to test your Battleframe's abilities. The primary weapon of the Assault Battleframe is the Plasma Cannon. The cannon fires plasma rounds which cause considerable impact damage but also yield substantial splash damage. Alternately, this weapon can also fire clusters of plasma projectiles, creating a powerful shotgun-like effect. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. You may exit the Battle Lab at any time. Overcharge allows the assault to briefly maximize the charge of all of its components, inflicting damage to surrounding enemies. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. Battle Lab at any time. Afterburner causes the Assault Battleframe to jet forward at high speeds. Activate Afterburner and fly through the ring. When activated, Crater causes the Assault Battleframe to rocket into the ground, damaging enemies near the impact. This ability must be activated while airborne. Greater heights result in greater damage. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. The Assault can call in a shockwave shell from the Arclight. The shell will land in front of the Accord Assault, detonate, and send forward a shockwave, inflicting massive damage on anything it passes through. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. To activate this ability, your hyperkinesis meter, or HKM, must be at 100%. You may exit the Battle Lab at any time. The Dreadnought is the Accord's most durable battle frame. capable of withstanding devastating attacks while inflicting tremendous punishment on its enemies. Activate challenges in order to test your Battleframe's abilities. The heavy machine gun is the primary weapon of the Dreadnought class and fires armored shells at a high rate of speed. This weapon has an alternate fire setting which for short periods of time deploys a forward shield to block incoming projectiles. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. Battle lab at any time. A Dreadnought's repulsor blast causes the Battleframe to emit a powerful wave of energy, knocking back enemies and inflicting damage. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. Heavy armor creates a powerful damage-mitigating shield around the Dreadnought, allowing the frame to withstand even higher rates of damage. Activate the ability. The turret will be unable to affect you. You may exit the battle lab at any time. Dreadnoughts are equipped with explosive rounds, which can supplant the frame's standard ammunition for limited periods of time. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. Dreadnought is able to call in and man a mortar launcher, giving this frame the ability to devastatingly attack enemies. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. To activate this ability, your hyperkinesis meter, or HKM, must be at 100%. Is a powerful and versatile combat frame that offers highly mobile and powerful mid-range offense support to combat groups. Activate challenges in order to test your Battleframe's abilities. The heavy assault rifle is the primary weapon of the Recon Battleframe and provides the pilot with a uniquely accurate and powerful combat weapon. The alternate fire setting for the heavy assault rifle uses powerful telescopic sighting, allowing pilots to take advantage of the rifle's range and accuracy. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. lab at any time. Deployable SIN beacons allow recons to detect enemy vulnerabilities. This information is relayed to the SIN network and allied fighters, increasing the damage taken by enemies from all sources. Activate your ability in order to affect the creatures pursuing you. The decoy ability allows recons to cloak themselves while simultaneously generating a hologram to distract enemies. The hologram detonates after a few seconds, causing damage to all enemies within the blast radius. Activate your ability in order to affect the creatures pursuing you. Battle lab at any time. The cryo grenade drains energy from and snares targets in its blast zone. Activate your ability in order to affect the creatures pursuing you. Artillery strike targets a specified area for an artillery strike by Accord forces. After acquiring the target, artillery bombards the targeted area. Defeat all enemies using the weapon or ability selected. To activate this ability, your hyperkinesis meter, or HKM, must be at 100%.